In today's video, we're doing something a little bit special today. We're talking about the ZX81. Well, in today's video, I'm sharing with you this awesome little microcomputer, the Sinclair ZX81. Very special in my heart. I'll explain to you later in the video why. But this brilliant little microcomputer came out in March 1981 as basically a computer for the masses where anybody could buy it. And you could get it for roughly about £50 back in the early 80s as a kit computer where you could build it up yourself like a little project and then do some sort of lots of programming on it like that, or for a little bit extra you could buy it as a complete package. Now what was beautiful about this machine is you had to learn how to use it through programming. You had to learn how to program programs, and lots of people that ended up in the gaming industry or just very passionate enthusiasts would use it to build their own games, share it with family and friends, take it into school, that sort of thing. And it really was a computer of the age, and it's something that went on to things like the Spectrum, which is very known as well, as possibly even more well known. But the ZX81 is a very special computer, and what's cool about this, they sold over 1.5 million copies of this little microcomputers. Very easy to use for the time, especially if you know how to use BASIC, or it was a huge learning curve. Now what I love about computers from this sort of era right up to sort of the early 90s is I love the fact that you had to learn how the computer worked to be able to use it. So you had to work out code, you had to work out how to program things. You know, it wasn't just like nowadays where you just tap a button and it does things. And I like that because if things go wrong with it, you could troubleshoot it. Because you knew how the computer worked, you would know how to fix it yourself and that sort of thing. And you could upgrade it with extra memory, which was a little slot on the back. And what some people did, they would connect like a tape player to it, and they would record their games onto it, saving their games so they don't lose their work, as it only had a small amount of memory. And the only thing I do believe about this machine is it had this very delicate keyboard membrane, which I believe was something that would break quite easily, but you could buy a spare one, and if you knew how to do it, attach a new one and stuff like that. So that really was nice about the machine. Now if you're getting value so far from this video, I'm Dave from DOSBite, and I make weekly content on retro computers and games. If that sounds interesting to you, go and check out my blog. The link is in the description. Like and subscribe, and thank you for watching. Let's crack on with the video now. On a personal level, the reason why the ZX81 Spectrum, or ZX81 Sinclair, not the Spectrum, is a very special computer to me is because it's probably my oldest computer, and it belonged to my late granddad, and he had it in his garage for quite a while, and I never, even to this day, never saw it working. So a few years ago I actually bought all the cables for it, tried to mess around with it, and sadly I've still not been able to get it to work. And it wasn't until I first visit the cave, which I made a video about last week, where I actually saw one working. So that was a really nice moment. It was really nice to see one of these finally working. But so I must admit, I'm not an expert on the ZX81, so I don't know if it's just a computer itself is something wrong with it, or I just haven't got the right monitor, because I do know that to make these work more easily you need like a really old school sort of TV screen, if you will, like a black and white one. Correct me if I'm wrong. What's really cool, actually, I've actually seen these where people have upgraded them with USB ports and all sorts, and put like a mini computer inside them, but kept the case, which I think is really nifty. But I just love this little micro. It's just, it's simple. I must admit, I've not used this one particularly, but I store it well, because it holds a special place in my heart, because it always fascinated me. This little computer that could do so much was full of mystery, and I love the fact that my granddad had got it, and he clearly done some programs and games on it and stuff like that, which I never really got to see. Just through time, things get lost and stuff like that. But it was just it's just a really nice little machine, and if you have, I'm sure you do, if you have any memories of this machine, or have one or two yourself, or built one yourself, please share it in the comments below. I'll just be really intrigued to hear about your stories, which will lead on to next week's video, where I'm going to talk about this and compare it to the Spectrum, which is a modern version of the ZX Spectrum. So I'm going to do a little comparison and talk about both of them in the next video, so look out for that. If you watched last week's video, that means a lot as well. And join us now on our journey to 10,000 subscribers, and if I get beyond that, that'll just be a running dream. So thank you so much for watching. In a moment I'm going to leave you 2 end cards that are going to bring you even more value. Thank you so much. Feel free to ask your questions or share your memories in the comments below. I'm Dave from DOSBite, and as always, you guys absolutely rock.